Angel Heart from 1987 is none other than a supernatural horror drama slash thriller. And it is one of those films that I'm sure really scared a lot of people back in 1987, but as of now, there's really only a couple scenes in this that really still resonate well with people. And the reason being is Robert De Niro. This was the same year that he did The Untouchables, far better film than this, where he played Al Capone. And of course he did do a great job in that. But with The Untouchables, everything about that film is pristine. Everything about The Untouchables is scrumptious. I love The Untouchables dearly. But with Angel Heart, he's really the saving grace. It's directed by Alan Parker, who has done quite a few good films, but sadly, Angel Heart just didn't really do it for me. It's pretty predictable once. The movie ultimately builds up towards this kind of a twist, but nowadays you can really see that twist coming a mile away. And once that it gets revealed, there's really no point in seeing it again, because it's one of those things where once it's given away, it loses all of its power, loses all of its steam. Robert De Niro is not the lead in this film. Lead in this is Mickey Rourke, and it was a couple years after he did Diner, which was his breakout film. I do think Mickey Rourke is a decent actor, but yeah, let's face it, the Angel Heart was just not one of his better films, I found. So it deals with him, who is, Mickey Rourke, who's a private investigator. It takes place in the 1950s, and he's hired by this law firm and this dude named Louis Cypher. Get it? Louis Cypher, Lucifer, yeah. And that's played by Robert De Niro. And they need to go search for this man. But, yeah, so much, he learns a lot, and eventually, he ends up seeing who Louis Cypher really is. So, yeah, every time De Niro's on screen, it's pure magic, but... And also, obviously, when we find out exactly who De Niro is, it's really cool stuff. And that's also what the movie builds towards. Alan Parker tries to do a great job in representing a really eerie, atmospheric sort of setting, but ultimately it doesn't quite work the way that people would hope. Everything about this movie just screams... I hate to say it, but mediocre. It's so second place. It's so average. Except for Robert De Niro. Not just saying this because I'm a big Robert De Niro fan, but he's just the saving grace of this. Especially when it builds up towards its climax. That's really the only good that this movie has. Other than that, the movie is just pure mediocrity. They do. I think that they just needed to try harder, kick it one gear higher, and it would have been better. It would have been actually a good film if it would have kicked it just one gear higher. But the way that it stands right now, I'm going to have to give The Angel Heart 2.5 stars out of 4. Please subscribe.